السلام على من اتبع الهدى.
Salam al-Masih, man.
Okay.
I'm asking where is Muhammad in the Bible today, just to start this off.
Phew. I don't know much about the Bible, but I heard he is in Barnabas. I heard he's in Isaiah. I heard
Barnabas is
this all
yeah,
it's
just to let you know.
apocryphal. I know it's
Well, no,
apocryphal.
it's not even apocryphal. Barnabas is a completely forged 15th century, I think 13th to 15th century text. It comes even after Muhammad. Barnabas is a first century apostle.
Okay, of course, people will say this if they are not in favor of Muhammad, but this is not. I won't argue. I won't argue with the Bible. I don't know about the Bible.
No, dude, it's not even my bias against Islam. Like, literally, the Gospel of Barnabas is a 13th to 15th century work, bro. It has nothing to do with me disagreeing with Islam at all.
Okay. This is one thing I knew. Thank you for this info.
Of course.
There's, I think in Isaiah, German, they say Isaiah. Isaiah, there's, I think it refers, I don't know the exact referral, but it says, like, read, and he will say, I am not learned, and this is what happened to Muhammad.
Yeah, Isaiah 29. Let's go to that really quick. Isaiah 29. And the verse you're talking about is verse 11, I believe, or 12, one of those. But we're gonna read 10 to 13. Is that okay?
I don't know, bro. Okay, it's okay.
Okay. I have it on the screen. Let me know if you can see that.
Okay. I can see it.
Okay, good. All right. So we're gonna read 10 to 13. Or 9 to 13. Here it is. So this is God speaking to the people of Israel. He says, astonish yourselves and be astonished. Blind yourselves and be blind. Be drunk, but not with wine. Stagger, but not with strong drink. For the Lord has poured out upon you a spirit of deep sleep and has closed your eyes, the prophets, and covered your heads, the seers. So God
seers? Seer he sees. Okay, yeah, okay.
Yep. So he stopped the revelations from coming to these prophets and seers, and we're about to see why. So he says he's closed.
Do you know Ahlul Fatra? Do you know this Ahlul Fatra?
What is that?
This is the period between Jesus and Muhammad where no one had revelation. This is they are people. They will be Yawm al-Qiyamah, on the day of resurrection, day of judgment. They will be tested in front of Allah.
Well, this isn't talking about that, brother. This is way before Jesus was even born. This is dealing with the people of Israel, and because of their rebellion and their rejection of God, he's punishing them by closing the eyes of the prophets. He's cutting communication and covering the head of the seers. So there's the revelation.
Okay, I understand. This is about Israel. God is saying to them, for that what you have done, be blind and be okay. Okay, I understand.
Exactly. Now he gives an analogy, right? A figurative speech by what this is going to be like. So he says, and the vision of all this has become to you like the words of a book that is sealed. When men give it to one who can read, saying, read this, he says, I cannot, for it is sealed. Right? And when they give the book,
what kind of translations? I read this, and it was not like this. It was I'm not learned.
Well,
another translation.
That's the next verse, bro. That's the next verse. So continuing, it says, and when they give the book to one who cannot read, saying, read this, he says, I cannot read. So, and look, verse 13, and the Lord said, because this people draw near with their mouth and honor me with their lips, while their hearts are far from me. And their fear of me is a commandment taught by men. Therefore, behold, I will again do wonderful things with this people, with wonder upon wonder, and the wisdom of their wise men shall perish, and the discernment of their discerning men shall be hidden.
What is discernment?
Discernment means like your awareness. So their spiritual awareness is going to be done. He's taking it away.
Okay.
So what he's saying is this happens because they're hypocrites. They honor God with their mouth, but their hearts are far from God. Right?
Okay.
So if you're saying that this is about Muhammad, then you're saying that Muhammad is a hypocrite.
No. It doesn't say this. It says his people, his followers. Because this people, it's more. It's not Muhammad. It's the people who follow him.
So,
i.e., the Muslims. The Muslims will be hypocrites.
No, Khalid.
Yes.
It's not just the followers. Look, for the Lord has, verse 10. For the Lord has poured out upon you a spirit of deep sleep, and has closed your eyes, the prophets.
Yes.
So if you're saying that Muhammad is one of these prophets, well, God says that they're hypocrites who will be blinded. And Revelation.
No, not the prophets. Are you saying that the hypocrisy is about the prophets? Is referring to the prophets?
The prophets and these false prophets and the people of Israel all together. They're all one.
I don't see why it cannot be that this is about Muhammad. Why is it not about Muhammad? And the vision of all this.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. If you want to say that this is about Muhammad, then you have to say that Muhammad is a hypocrite who only honors God with his lips while his heart is far from God.
No, as I said, because this people, i.e., the followers of Muhammad, because this people, the people who followed him, draw near with their mouth and honor me with their lips. There is a lot of Muslims, unfortunately, that do this. They say things and say, God is seeing us. God is.
For some reason, you keep going away from the part how it mentions the prophets. You see how it mentions the prophets, right?
Yes, and afterwards it mentions the people.
So it's talking about them all as a whole. This people, the prophets are part of that people. They've all been blinded and put in a deep sleep. Their discernment, their spiritual awareness is being taken away because they're hypocrites.
Ridiculous. Even you don't believe. Are you saying that the hypocrisy is about the prophets? It's referring to the prophets? It is not. You don't believe this. I don't believe this. It's clearly, if it's talking about hypocrisy, it cannot be about prophets. It is about the people. The followers of the prophets.
Khalid, you unlike
if
a Muslim,
it is, if it is about the, if it is about the of.
You're not paying attention. You're not paying attention. In the scriptures, these people are not perfect, and prophets aren't put on a pedestal. Matter of fact, these are false prophets. These are people who claim to be prophets, claim to receive revelation of God. So he closes their eyes, he covers their heads. They're not receiving revelation, and this he compares this him closing the eyes of the prophets. You see how it says he closed the eyes of the prophets, right?
Yeah, they're dead. They're not there anymore. They're not amongst the people.
No, then it's not that they're not amongst the people. They are amongst the people. He's closed their eyes. They're in a spirit of deep sleep. You see how it says a spirit of deep sleep there?
Okay. Yeah, I see it.
Okay. So the prophets and the people are all in the same boat.
And the vision of all this has become to you. Who is this you? Is it about the prophets?
Israel.
Or is it about Israel. It is about Israel. I say it's about the of the followers of Muhammad. And this vision of all this has become to you, O nation of Muhammad.
Do you believe that God shut Muhammad's eyes and stopped revelation from coming to him?
Has become. Let me read. And the vision of all this has become to you like words of a book.
Oh no, this part right here, verse 10. Do you believe that God put Muhammad in a spirit of deep sleep and closed his eyes? Stopped him from receiving revelation. You believe that God did this to Muhammad?
No, of course not.
Then
the vision of all this has become to you like. The vision of all this has become to you like words of a book that is sealed. Okay. But still, the words can. The vision of all this has become to you like the words of a book that is sealed. Which book is? It's
hold on. The vision of
Bible.
what? The vision of what? When it says the vision of all this, all what?
What was before mentioned before?
Which is what?
Be blinded about the truth and stuff.
Beautiful. So the blindness of the truth is going to be similar to someone receiving a book that can read, but the book is locked, so they can't read it because they're blinded from the truth. It's also like giving a book to an illiterate man who can't read. He's blocked from reading the book because he's illiterate. So all of that's what it's like. The blindness that God puts on the people is similar to giving a locked book, a sealed book, to a person who can read, but they can't read it because it's sealed. It's also like giving a book to a person who can't read. Mm-hmm. He's blocked from reading it. He's blinded from reading it because he can't read. That's what it's like.
Okay, I'm not in the position, and I'm not qualified to talk about the Bible and give you. You have won this point, but I think this is not my field. My field is the Quran. My field is this kind of stuff.
All right, no.
But do you know Adnan Rashid? He has a book. It's called Abraham Fulfilled. Can you have a commentary on it? I would like to see what you have to say about.
If you buy it for me,
okay, I will buy it for you. If you comment it, I would like to see this. I would pay for this even.
You would pay for me to comment on his book?
I would pay the book.
You pay the book. You buy the book for me to. So
would you do this?
Let me say this. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I have a lot of reading material that I have to get to before I get to a book by Adnan Rashid. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I'll tell you this. I'll tell you what. You've read the book?
Not all of it.
Okay. I'll tell you what.
And I have some reading to do. I have exams and stuff, so I will not.
But how about this? How about on your free time, the stuff that you have gone through, you note down, take notes of some important, heavy points that you believe he makes in the book, right? And I'm willing for you to come back and share that with me, and we talk about it.
Okay.
So whatever he references, the sources he brings up, and we'll talk about it. We'll have a discussion on it.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, cool.
Do you have?
Until then, I know that you. So this is my thing with Islam. Okay, why I'm asking about Muhammad in the Bible? Obviously, because the Quran says that we can find him in the Torah and the Gospel. So that's extremely important to me.
The Quran says we can find Muhammad in the Gospel.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
So he says we'll find him in the Torah and the Gospel. He even says specifically, he says that Jesus said that a messenger named Ahmed will come after me. He says that Jesus said this. This is chapter 61, verse 6 of the Quran.
Surah al-Saf. Yeah.
Exactly. So obviously for me as a Christian, that's extremely important to me. You know, if Jesus mentioned a messenger to come after him named Ahmed, I would have to believe in him. I have to believe in this messenger named Ahmed because obviously I follow Jesus. If he doesn't say this, and I check the Torah and the gospel, and Muhammad is nowhere found in the scripture, then I have to judge that the Quran is false because it's not telling the truth. You know, that's the position I'm in.
Okay, this is just a difficult position for me to argue with you because I have to dive with you into the Bible. I have no knowledge about the Bible. There's even I mentioned Isaiah. I mentioned the Song of Solomon. I watched a short YouTube short from Ahmed Didat from this about this, and you don't any.
How about you?
Tell me what you would say about this.
Sure.
But
I think I have a short too. I think I also have what youngsters call a short. What you young people call a short these days. Let me see. Guys, make sure you guys are all hitting the like button. Make sure you guys all hit the like button. What was you about to say?
I memorized it, the Hebrew one.
Makmadim, brother. Makmadim.
Mahmadim.
All right, here it is. I'm about to share my screen, man. Let's see what comes up. Let's see what we think.
Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is also mentioned my name in the Old Testament.
Okay, so what does the Quran?
Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is also mentioned my name in the Old Testament.
No, he isn't.
It says Muhammadim.
The Hebrew word is makmadim, which means altogether lovely or desirable things. Muhammad's name means the praised one. Those are two different words with two different definitions. But you want to know who is mentioned in the Bible by name? Isaiah 49:6 says, he says, "It is too light a thing that you should be my servant to raise up the tribes of Jacob and to bring back the preserved of Israel. I will make you as a light for the nations, that my Yeshua may reach to the ends of the earth." The word here in the Hebrew is Yeshua for salvation, which is Jesus's name in the Hebrew, Yeshua, saying that he will be all throughout the earth, salvation reaching everyone in the earth. And we still see the fulfillment of this.
To this day, Prophet.
Yes, what do you think?
Okay, it can coincide, and Muhammad can coincide with some meaning in Hebrew, but Muhammad is a word that belongs to Muhammad, and im is for plural. It's like in Arabic, it's the same thing.
The word is not Muhammad. The word is not Muhammad. It's Makmad in the Hebrew.
Okay, it's Ahmad. It's Ahmad Tanbiya. It's Ahmad also. Ahmad. He's Ahmad. He is.
No. You missed
a lot of names. He's Ahmad. He's Muhammad.
You're misunderstanding what I'm saying. I'm saying that the word in the Hebrew is not Muhammad. The word is Makmad. That's two different words. Muhammad and Makmad.
It's Muhammad. It's Muhammad. It's Muhammad. Can you read Hebrew?
Oh, I know this word. The word is, look, and I showed it on the screen in the video, but I'll show it again. This is the word in the Hebrew. Okay. Look, this is how to say it. You see it? Transliteration: Mahmad. Mahmad. That's how to say it. It's not Muhammad. It doesn't have the correct vowels or anything like that for it to even give that sound. It's Mahmad. Okay. And so obviously with the I am at the end is Makmadim. Makmadim, which is altogether lovely, you know, it's plural. So these are two different words with two different definitions. Muhammad, as I said in the video, Muhammad, one, that's his name, Muhammad, and his name means the praised one.
Yeah.
That's a completely different definition from the word Mahmad, which has nothing to do with praised one. It means desirable thing. So those are two different words. Okay. I mean, I think we see this word used in multiple places, like in the Bible. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, look. All these different verses give us where the word mahmad is used all over the Bible. Now I know you're not.
I found another transliteration because I was sure that I have seen another one. It says Muhammad. It's and even yeah. Okay, I only wanted to know what you have to say about this. Is this word mentioned somewhere else?
Yeah, the same word. So it's right here in Isaiah 64:11. It says, our holy temple and beautiful, where you are where praised you our fathers. So our fathers praised you, is burned up with fire, and all our pleasant things. Look at the word mahmad, or if you want to say Muhammad.
No, this is not Muhammad.
Things,
okay,
are laid waste. So it says, if you're going to say this is Muhammad, it says that Muhammad is laid to waste.
Okay.
You believe that Muhammad was destroyed and laid to waste?
To be wasted it's another form to say someone is dead.
Yeah, it is. It's to be destroyed. Look, burnt with fire. Look, it says our holy temple, our holy beautiful temple.
What temple is? What temple is this?
It's the temple of the Jews in Jerusalem.
Okay.
It says that their temple. It says our holy temple, where our fathers praised you, is burned with fire, and all our pleasant things, all our Muhammad, are laid to waste. You believe that Muhammad was burned with fire and laid waste? Maybe he's in.
No,
I don't know disrespect, but maybe he's not in paradise right now. Maybe he's somewhere where the fire.
Stop. Okay, stop. Okay.
Get it?
Can we go in my field? In my field, I know better how to respond, bro.
Yes. Okay. So what do you think? What are you confident in the Quran? Why do you think the Quran is the word of God?
Why do I think? I think the Quran is actually self-evident. It's you read it and you know it is from God because it has many it has many layers of things proving itself. It has prophecies.
What? All right.
About
Let's start there.
But I think that the prophecies are not sufficient because I think the actual proof for the Quran is the number of layers and the quantity of proof that is in it. One prophecy will not prove it, but the number of prophecies, the precision, the numbers, the scientific things in the Quran that were mentioned, that were discovered later on.
We need to do one at a time then. So you said prophecy. I have yet to see a prophecy in the Quran. But you said that doesn't prove make or break for you. That doesn't prove or disprove Islam if it had prophecy or false prophecy. If it had false prophecy, would it prove the Quran wrong?
Yes, of course. And it is not the quantity of the prophecies and the scientific miracles. It is the quantity of true miracles that either came true or are to come true.
So what's an example by what you mean? A true miracle in the Quran that has come true. What is that?
For example, in Surah An-Nur, I think it's Surah 24.
Mm-hmm.
It says on the right page, bottom, it says, He is the one who, God is the one who makes clouds. What is this called?
I don't know. Collide or rub together or something. I don't know.
Rub. Yeah, they are rubbed together. Then a lightning comes, and this is scientifically, it's not a book of science like Zakir Naik says. Science, SCIEN.
You said like Zakir Naik says?
Yeah, he said it's not a book of science, it's a book of science. So it's
you're a fan of Zakir Naik.
I watched some videos of him.
And you think he does a good job?
I don't know. I don't know him that good.
Okay. All right. So
I love him as a brother.
Right.
Like this, even it talks about layers of waves in the ocean. There are waves under the ocean. The devices you need to see this, Muhammad didn't have these devices to see this. This was recently exposed or.
All right. So let me ask you this. So it sounds like scientific discoveries or scientific accuracies show evidence that the Quran is true. Is that correct?
Science are theories that are, science can change.
I know.
But the truth doesn't change. If God says something, if God, the true God, says something, it is like this. But if we see, and now we have science, and it coincides and comes along with what the Quran says. This is so if you cannot ignore this.
If there are scientific inaccuracies, if there are things in the Quran where the Quran is scientifically wrong,
it does disprove the Quran if there are incorrect things in the Quran.
All right, but so let's jump straight into it.
But if it is not aligning with science, it doesn't mean that the Quran is wrong. Rather, the science is wrong.
So how are these science? See, that's what I'm getting confused, because you're saying at first you said
because I said
hold on.
Because I said the proof of the Quran is the number and the quantity.
But it doesn't matter quantity. It doesn't change the quality of it. It's not quality. It's not a quality worth evidence. You're saying at first scientific miracles, right? The amount of scientific truths that are in the Quran that are verifiable and correct show that the Quran is true. If it has, so that would mean that the opposite would prove that it's false. That if there are scientific inaccuracies in the Quran, like set straight up scientific inaccuracies, that would prove the Quran false.
Yes, it is false. If there's something in the Quran which is not true, it cannot be from God. Then I cannot believe the Quran.
Okay.
But I say, but rather we should double check the science that is made, not the Quran, because
we should
double check both. I have no problem.
All right, look, so let's get into it, man. I want to show you some inaccuracies in the Quran, okay?
Okay.
All right. So if we go to, let me just ask you this really quick, though. What was created first? The heavens.
It's a big discussion. It's a big discussion.
I don't think it's that big.
Within scholarship in Islam, it's a big discussion. Some say it was the pen. Some say it was the arsh.
No, that's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. I'm talking specifically out of the universe and the earth. Which came first? Was it the universe that came first, then the earth, or did the earth come first and then the universe?
I don't know.
You don't know?
From the Quran.
No, just in general.
The universe. I think.
Right. I mean, that would make sense because if you have no universe, then you have no place or time to put the earth in the first place, right? You need space.
You can put it around it, no problem. But okay, what's the point?
Okay, so scientifically, obviously, as we know, the universe came first, man. The universe came first, right? The Quran says that the earth came first and the universe came after it. Okay, so I'm gonna show you these verses.
Which surah? What's the surah called?
Surah 41,
Which is
Fusilat.
Fatir Fussilat. Yeah.
Fusilat.
This is bottom right side. When the sky was dust and this.
So look, this is what it says. Do you read Arabic too?
Yeah. قل إنكم لتكفرون بالذي خلق الأرض في يومين وتجعلون له أندادا ذلك رب العالمين. Yeah.
So
okay.
do you believe verily? Do you verily disbelieve in him who created the earth in 2 days, and you set up rivals with him? That is the Lord of the worlds, right? All mankind and stuff like that in jinn. So he created the earth in 2 days, right? That's verse 9. Let's go to the next verse. He then says, he placed therein firm mountains from above it, and he blessed it and measured therein its sustenance in 4 days equal, right? So 2 days he created the earth, and then 4 days he placed the things in the earth, right? And then what happens next? It says, then he rose over toward the heaven when it was smoke, and said to it and to the earth, come both of you willingly or unwillingly. They both said, we come willingly. So the heaven wasn't created yet. It was just smoke at this point, right? But the earth was finished. The earth was created and finished. But then he goes to the smoke. So there's no heaven yet. There's no universe yet. Verse 12. Then he completed and finished from their creation 7 heavens. There's the universe. In 2 days. And he made in each heaven its affair. And we adorned the nearest heaven, the lowest heaven. That's our space that we see in the sky, our sky, with lamps to be an adornment as well as a guard. Such is the decree of him, the Almighty, the All-Knower. So according to these passages from verses 9 to 12, it tells us that the earth was created and completed first. Then he created the universe, the heavens, and made them 7 heavens. Right? I think. So that would be a scientific inaccuracy. That is absolutely false factually, because obviously the universe came before the earth. This says the opposite.
How do you know?
Well, one, brother, because the universe is older than the earth, according to science, right?
Yeah, according to you always have references.
Yeah. Okay, my bad. Goodness. Let me bring it up. Let me bring it up. What tab do I want to use? Let's use this one. All right.
Because actually, I would say this is even proving the Quran. That it was smoke, because the Big Bang nucleosynthesis theory tells us that the universe had a very high temperature of 10 million, I don't know what, and the universe was nothing but cloud and smoke and plasma. And
so it's 13.7. It's not sharing. My bad. So it's 13.7 billion years. So 14 billion years old is the universe. 14 billion years. Let's see the Earth. Age of the Earth. 4 billion years. So the universe is 14 billion years old. The Earth is 4 billion years old. So the Quran
Okay.
says that the earth was created before the universe, which is false.
Yeah, okay. This doesn't disprove the Quran. We said if it's clear cut, we have someone said, Google said something. We don't know how they came up with this. We need something. It's clear. This is wrong in the Quran, and you have no. And it can be that it was first a stone. It doesn't
My
even
brother,
say it had life in it. It doesn't say anything.
my brother. It literally said, the Quran literally said,
Mm-hmm.
it made the earth first in 2 days,
Yes.
and then everything on it in 4 days, then turned to the smoke and made the universe out of that smoke.
Okay, I don't see the issue with it.
So the issue is that there was no universe. There was an earth first, then the universe. So space, time, matter, all of that.
I have no problem with someone saying this if he can substantiate it, but he said something, and I believe the Quran more than something that Google said. If it's not, and if it's 1 + 1 = 2, it's okay. I understand. This is logic. If someone says he lied, someone X lied in his resume. He did not do XYZ, and you can see he didn't XYZ. Then okay, you have seen why this is not true.
See, this is why I say I don't even think that you hold scientific accuracies as a proof for Islam, because as soon as you see an inaccuracy, you say, well, nope, the Quran says this, so that's it.
Well, I said this in the beginning. If it's clear cut, if it's something we can.
This is clear cut.
What is clear cut about this? What is clear cut about this? And how do you know that it's not otherwise? And how many scientific things were disproven after?
Where would you put the earth if there is no universe to put it in?
Bro, where is the universe? Where is the universe? Where is the universe put in? What is this question?
See, with the universe comes space, meaning location and space, matter, physical material, energy, okay, and time. That's what the universe encapsulates. That's what makes up the universe.
Okay, this is all given in Earth.
So if the Earth is before the universe, then that would mean that the Earth is timeless. It doesn't have a beginning.
No, it doesn't mean this. God can still. No, we said God created the Earth.
So then that means that the Earth has matter and has time and also has space, which means it is within the universe.
Why does this mean this? How do you conclude this? The Earth has matter.
I'll try.
The Earth has time.
It's okay. I'll get away from this. I'm gonna try one more thing with you, and then we'll call it a day. Because you know that stuff doesn't matter. You know, for you. You said science. No, stop. Because then I'm gonna get bothered. You said science was a proof for you. I showed you a scientific inaccuracy. You said, forget what science says. It's about the Quran. So don't say that as a proof anymore. Don't say science in the Quran. It's the accuracies prove the Quran. Don't say that anymore, because it doesn't for you. It's false. It doesn't. So I'm gonna give you one.
I said science can be not true. Science can change because science is what people observe.
We'll see how it is.
And I said the proof. Okay. I said the proof in the Quran is the number of proofs in it.
We'll see.
It's the number of proofs in it.
Yeah, not the number of falsehoods, huh? If it has one falsehood, it has more truth in it. So 1 falsehood, 2 falsehood, it has like 30 truths. So you can bring up 5 falsehood, it don't matter, right?
Bro, more respect, please. And I'm not arguing like this. I'm trying to be respectful, But I don't see the
I'm being
point.
respectful. But I'm going to be real with you. I'm not going to sugarcoat you.
No, be clear.
What you're saying is that there's
Mhm.
an amount of truths in the Quran, so I can bring you 2, 3, 4, 5 falsehoods. It doesn't matter as long as there's more truths in the Quran, right? More things that got right.
But you didn't bring one falsehood. And it was not a clear falsehood. You said someone else, science, they say science says this, but it's not even proven. It's estimated.
We're done with the science point because we saw the double standard that you had. So we're not going to use science anymore, even though the Quran gets stuff scientifically false. Whatever the Quran says, that's your standard. So that's what we're going to deal with. Stop bringing up science because that's a waste of my time. So I'm going to show you something in the Quran. The Quran says that if you find contradictions in it, it's not from Allah, right?
Yes, says it.
Okay. I'm going to show you this. Now, if you can't be honest with your own text here, then we're going to have to conclude our conversation. Okay. I want you to read. We're going to read together.
Yes,
We're going to read this.
Which surah is this?
Hold on. This is too long. This translation is too long. Hold on. Let me pick a better
هو
translation.
الذي أنزل عليك الكتاب منه آيات محكمات ومنه okay هن أم الكتاب أخرى متشابهات. Okay, how is the book detailed and not detailed at the same time? This is the question, right?
No, it's not. No, it's not the question.
Okay.
But do you see how the Quran says that it has some things that are detailed and some things that are not, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
That's what it says, right?
Yes.
So we understand some verses are detailed, some things are not detailed. Pretty clear, straightforward. Some things are not detailed. Okay. Now let's read this one. This is chapter 12, Surah Yusuf, 111.
لقد كان في قصصهم عبرة لأولي الألباب ما كان حديثا يفترى ولكن تصديق الذي بين يديه وتفصيل كل شيء وهدى ورحمة لكم. Okay. كان في قصصهم. Okay.
So this says that everything is detailed, right?
In the book, yes.
Yep, in the Quran.
In the Quran, yes.
Yep, in the Quran, everything is detailed and explained. But in the other verse, it said that only some things are detailed. Not everything is detailed. Only some things are detailed. So you have a contradiction. This verse we're looking at says it's a detailed explanation of everything. Everything is detailed and explained. In the other verse, it says that there are some things that are clear and detailed, some things that are not.
Okay. This is a good point. I will give you this. But the word muhkam, it says it is like clear cut. And mutashabihat it can be, and mutashabih comes from yushabih, it is similar to other things, or it can be misinterpreted, or it is more general. This is mutashabih.
It's ambiguous. It's not as clear.
It's not ambiguous. Ambiguous, good word.
Yes.
So this is, for example, ambiguous in the Quran. For example, okay, I don't. Okay, I don't know if. Okay, could be, but for example,
right?
Yes, it is. But I think better example is, for example, pray or pay the zakat. Yeah. This is ambiguous because how do you pray? How much do you have to pay from the zakat? This is ambiguous.
Good example.
And muhkamat is the things like follow, or for example, numbers. If he says in 2 days, for example. This is two. Two, you cannot say two is something else than two. Two is not metaphorical or something else. Two is two. This is muhkam. This is something clear.
Yep.
But it says in the Quran also, follow the Prophet. So if the Prophet says, "Sallu kama ra'aytumuni usalli," pray like you have seen me praying, this is from the kitab. This is from the book, and how the Prophet prayed. This is this is a detail from the book. It's indirect, but it is still what the Prophet said, and it says, "Do what the Prophet says."
We get it. I understand what you're saying, bro. So there are some things in
Okay.
the Quran that are ambiguous, right? It's not totally clear. These are some of these things that you would have to go outside the Quran, like to the Sunnah, right? The Hadith, to get this information, right? So that's a contradiction because the Quran says that the book itself is detailed about everything, while the other place says that there are some verses that are clear. There are things that are ambiguous in it, not detailed, not clearly explained. That's a contradiction. It can't be both.
Okay, it's still, I don't know what the scholars say about this. I have to look into it. But tafsil also, I think we have mutashabih, so it's ambiguous, and we have tafsil, which is how do you call someone who cuts your clothes and puts them like they have, so they fit?
Taylor.
Yeah, it is tailed. تفصيل it is tailed perfectly. And so if he says something, even if it's, for example, it says in the same surah, it says about Joseph that he was around, and then there was this king, and he did this and that, and he's talking about this king.
Brother, that's not
But
helping me, man. You don't got to go into deep. Just deal with the contradiction. The contradiction is
it is about the contradiction because it is a small detail, which is at the side. We don't actually look at it. But it's a detail. He says, yeah, the king did this and that.
But I'm not even talking
Joseph
about forget small or big details. The fact that there's details missing, for example, like how to pray or to give zakat, these are things that are important. So whether there's small details missing, there's big details missing. The Quran is not detailed about everything, but it says that it's detailed about everything, which means that that's a contradiction. خلاص.
I think
something happened to the connection. Dang it. I got him to laugh, man. I didn't get a smile on the camera.
Don't you hear me? Okay.
Oh, there you go.
لقد كان في قصصهم عبرة. How was the ayah again?
Which one? Surah Imran or Surah Yusuf?
يوسف. لقد كان في قصصهم عبرة لأولي الألباب ما كان حديثا يفترى ولكن تصديق الذي بين يديه وتفصيل كل شيء.
There it is.
وهدى ورحمة لقوم يؤمنون. Okay. Okay, my attempt to put the contradiction, which the obvious contradiction aside, or to solve this, is to say it says in the Quran also, follow the Prophet, and the details that are missing are with the Prophet. And that's why the Quran tells us to go to.
Khaled,
I cannot tell you more. I cannot respond more.
But hold on, though, because now that doesn't even work either. Because according to Surah Imran, it says that only Allah knows the meaning of these unclear verses, the ambiguous verses. Only Allah knows the meaning of these. Look, it says.
No, it doesn't say that.
Yeah, it does. Look,
it does after this. It says وَالرَّاسِخُونَ فِي الْعِلْمِ, and those who are good. It's not but those. It's and those.
I know it says and those firm in knowledge say we believe in it. It's from all of it is from our Lord. They don't know it. They just believe in it.
No. وَالرَّاسِخُونَ فِي الْعِلْمِ. It's and those that are firm in knowledge.
It's continuing the sentence.
Dot. they say we need. This is the true translation. There's a qira'ah that says like this, how it's translated here, but it's a not so common one. But the actual is not but, wow, wa is and.
I know.
It's
I
and.
know. You don't have to break it down for you. I get you. Like it doesn't get it right here. It's translating the meaning though. But I get you. It's and. So it says
And
and
those
no one
who are
it says
firm in
no one.
knowledge,
What do
full
they
stop.
say? No, it's not
They
full stop.
say
It says they say we
it
believe
is.
in.
It is. It is. I'm telling you, it is.
Wait,
It
wait.
is
So,
wrong.
wait. Just to be clear, it doesn't say and those firm in knowledge say. It doesn't say that. My goodness, we can. I mean, even we can never even get the verses right, man.
Look, there is something you can look it up in علم الوقف وعلم الوقف. It says علم الوقف, where to stop. And there's even the scholars have said stuff about this. But let me look up.
Oh, that's probably why it's stopping. He's probably going off his. He's probably on the phone. He's on the phone and he's going on another app. That's what's happening. That's why he keeps stopping.
Which verse is this?
This is Surah Imran, verse 7.
Okay, I'm going to look this.
You see the contradiction, though, right? All right, I'm sweating. No one knows its meaning except Allah, and
Okay,
those
and
firm in knowledge say we believe in it.
Okay, there is no waqf in Hafs. You were right.
Thank you.
In the common qira'ah.
So only Allah knows the meaning of the ambiguous verses, and those firm in knowledge say we believe in it. It's all from our Lord, right?
Yes.
So they don't even know the meaning of it, but they just acknowledge that it's all from Allah, even though they don't know the meaning of it. They just believe.
Yes.
They have faith. Okay.
Yeah.
So not even Muhammad knows the meaning of the ambiguous verses. Only Allah does.
How did you come up with this?
Because it says no one knows its meaning except Allah. Muhammad's not Allah, unless you want to.
Okay.
Is Muhammad Allah?
No.
Okay. All right. So Muhammad's not Allah. So Muhammad doesn't even know the meaning of the ambiguous verses. So you can't go to the hadith and go to Muhammad to learn the ambiguous verses. Only Allah knows it. But the Quran says that it's detailed about all things. But it's not. So that is a contradiction.
Okay. But this brings something. So would it make a difference if I said it is not Allah is not the only one who knows it? And because it says in Surah Al-Jinn in the last verses that Allah shows things that only He knows to some people. He exposes some things. It's normal. This is what prophets do. They have some of the unseen. God gives the knowledge to them.
Yeah.
And this is from the things that only Allah knows.
Yeah. So this is my thing. It wouldn't change the problem of the contradiction, right? So it'll just shed some light on, okay, yes, so Allah does share some of this unseen knowledge with his messengers, right? Which is fine. We see that that's why they're prophets, right? That's why they're messengers, right?
Yeah.
However, it doesn't solve the contradiction, though, that the Quran says it's detailed, explained about all things, everything. But this verse says there are some verses that are not always explained. They're ambiguous. That's where the problem is.
Okay, this one is I have to admit it's a tough one for me. And the
Got it
only
right.
attempt I did was to talk about the referral in the Quran to go to Muhammad, and look what he has done, i.e. the Sunnah. But more, I لا يحضرني الآن. I have no better explanation.
Right. So this is what it is. If you like, and you may look at this later when we get done. I'm gonna let some other guests come up. But
Yeah.
if the Quran, if this contradiction sticks, then obviously this can't be from Allah, right? Because it says in Surah Nisa 82 that if An-Nisa 4.
Okay.
Right? Wait, yeah, that's 4, right? No, am I tripping?
Yeah, Nisa is 4, yes.
Yeah. 482. 482. Let me just double check and make sure it's 82.
Is it Nisa? What verse is in Nisa?
Yeah, 82. I'm gonna show it on the screen. 82. Right?
This is in Muhammad. أفلا يتدبرون القرآن okay, no, this is in Nisa, yes.
So if this had been from any other than Allah, they would they would have found within it much contradiction. So if this book has contradictions in it, according to the Quran, it's not from Allah.
If you want to be precise, if it has much contradiction in it,
I know. Right, that's what I said earlier. So it can maybe have 1 or 2 or 3 contradictions in it, but if that's not much contradiction, so it'll be just fine.
Yeah.
Technically, you're right. It does say much contradiction. So
let's play technical.
Yeah. But okay. Hey, Khaled, thanks for coming. I'm gonna let somebody else come up. But listen, I'm live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You can come back anytime, bro.
I was once there. I had more hair, maybe.
I think I don't remember.
Okay.
But you have a good day, man. Keep watching, and hopefully you enjoy the stream. I hope you had fun in this conversation. And
I enjoyed it.
Good.
I have some questions to my shuyukh. It's
the sheikh.
One sheikh, more shuyukh.
Perfect.
Sheikh actually means, because you always say I'm Sheikh Logic. Sheikh actually means old man.
You feel me? They tell me I have an old soul, man. They say I have a young body with an old soul. Yeah. So, but okay. Thanks for coming, Khaled.
Okay. May God, the true God, guide us both to the true truth. And thank you for having me.
Of course, you're welcome anytime, brother.